lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio.
And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
What's going on, my good people? Charles McCutchen here. I'm your favorite entrepreneur. Check it out, y'all. I'm glad y'all here today. This is a great day to meet. It's a great day to meet. I hope it's the same for you. And if it's not, you probably need to just readjust a few things, because if you can hear the sound of my voice, you got another shot. That's just what I believe. I truly believe that. If you've never been here before, you are in Charles's corner. Basically what it is a compilation of information that I put together over my journey that helped me along, and I want to do the same things for everybody I come in contact with. For me, it's not about a specific topic. It's more about financial freedom. So different things that I work on, it all is like baking a cake. You get all the ingredients together, and then you mix it around, and then you have financial freedom. Now, I will tell you this. Don't, and I try to put this out for people because they look at me and say, Charles, you're doing too much. I hear that a lot. But a lot of people are trying to, see where I'm coming from, and they don't know that I've been doing this for years. This is not something that I just started doing. I had one guy who was like, well, you just started real estate 7 years ago. I said, no. You got me mixed up. You better go do your homework. If you're trying to come at me, because he tried to come for me, I said, don't do it. It's not what you want, my brother. But, I've been doing this for a while. And what I did, and y'all can do the same thing. So everybody wanted now, and I get that. But I started out with credit, like doing credit. And that was like the late 90s. I was doing credit. And then after that, I jumped into real estate. I didn't know what I was doing, but, nevertheless, I still jumped into real estate. And then I kept doing real estate. I stopped real estate in 2007, and that's only because I was going overseas. I was about to buy another house. I remember it was $299,000, and like them houses over there now, shoot, they probably had $1 million. But I didn't want to be the person responsible for it because I had enough. And where I was at like 7, and I was like, well, I'm just going to stop right there because I was a property manager as well. So I said, well, I can maintain what I have right now because my houses was like, I had some houses like $76,000, $100,000. So I didn't have those extravagant $400,000, $500,000 houses like some of my friends had. And I would tell you when the market, we call it corrected itself or crashed, a lot of my friends and people that I knew, they had like one lady specifically, she had about 10 homes. And all of their homes, the mortgage on it was $2,500, $3,000, $3,500, $2,000. And if you total all that up in a month, you're going to get this crazy number. Let's just go, let's go easy. If you just said, if she had a lot of people paying her for the mortgage because they was living there, right? So if you just do 2,000 times 10, she was due out. And all the mortgages had to pay out $20,000 a month. Now I know for a fact some of them houses was more than that, but so she was basically getting people who was coming here that was foreigners, and they needed somewhere to live, and they was gonna be here for like 3 years, and they was like military, so they got stipend money, they got money coming in, and so she got them to stay there, and she got some other folks as well, but. The one thing, she had some very nice homes, but when the market corrected itself, a lot of movement happened. A lot of military started moving around. A lot of people lost jobs, and that $20,000 is due. And I'm gonna tell you right now, $20,000 a month. That's gonna start taking on water after a while. The ship's gonna start taking on water. That's what happened. And so she didn't lose everything in a sense. It is what it is. But that's what people do. They file bankruptcy. And it's almost like they put a hold, and it's like different types of bankruptcy, but they put a hold on your stuff so nobody can come and take everything from you. And it's almost like you get a reset or something. And one of my mentors was like, if you haven't filed bankruptcy yet, then you haven't really started living. I'm like, that's his mentality. He filed bankruptcy, think twice. I don't know. But neither here nor there. What's going to happen, I know I've been talking about this for some time. The market is going to correct itself yet again. It's coming. You can see, there's some telltale signs out there, and as we get closer, I'm going to be telling y'all what I'm looking at, to make sure that I'm ready, just like everybody. Everybody, I say you have to get ready. So right now, in the real estate world, y'all know I love talking about real estate. So in the real estate world, it's more of if I was starting today, and tell people this, if I was starting in real estate today, I would study my behind off. You study, and study some more. So when the market decides to crash, you have knowledge about the market. So a lot of people are not going to be ready, and then there's going to be those that are ready, and because they are ready, they can capitalize on the market. And the other thing is, you can help a lot of people. So along this show, what I like to do is I like to talk about things that I'm actually doing. It just makes it easier for me just to talk about things that's going on in my world right now. So in my world right now, now I have two. I had three, and I got to put this lady's name out, and I hate to do this, but I got to do what I got to do. But I had three grant writers. They're still writing. One of them said she was done. Now, let me tell you how this lady did me, right? I found her on social media in a grants group, and she's in a couple of different groups. She's peddling her 17 years of experience, and I applaud her. She had a nice write-up, and I'm going to tell you what she did for me because we got on the phone. We had a great conversation. And this is for people who are looking for grants because a lot of people want grants. Me, myself included, I'm still looking for more grant writers because I have a lot of different projects out there. And I'm willing to pay. I'm one of those guys. I'm willing to pay a grant writer because I know it takes a lot to do research and everything like that. So we got on the phone. I looked her up, and she had a great track record. She had good stuff. I didn't do my enough due diligence, but, learning is learning. And so I like to show people that I'm serious about, what I'm doing. So she sent me 3 different tiers of how to pay, and the highest one she had was like $1,850. And so I said, hey, I'm going to get that one, and it was going to provide me like different things. And so as I'm paying for it, I paid for it, and then she said, hey, do you want to do 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months? So I was like, the same day I paid for it, we're talking via text and Facebook in her inbox. And I said, well, can you break down, like, I had already paid now. So I said, well, can you break down what I'm going to get for those, 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months? Like, what does it entail? Because I see the deliverables, and, like, one of the deliverables was government contracts, 3 proposals there. One of the deliverables was, like, maintenance and stuff like that. So I said, hey, can you, explain that to me, tell me what it is? And she just kept, like, talking around it. She said, Charles, it's not that serious. Do you want 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months? And I said, well, I don't really know if I want 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months because I don't really know what it is you offer. And so we kept going back and forth. And it started on October 4th. And I'm only saying this to protect, the people that's out there right now. So after we go through this, it was a 1 month setup from October 4th to November 4th. So I kept asking the same question over and over for the entire month of October. And she got mad, and she got her assistant to start helping me. And I asked her assistant the same question. I said, can you explain to me what am I taking away? I said, you said you did these proposals, you reached out to this company or that company. I said, can I have the name of the company that you reached out to? Can I have the proposals? Can I see the emails? I said, what am I getting when this is over? Nobody answered, nobody would answer. So I hit them up November 4th, November 5th, nothing. Then November 6th, they hit me back up. And she said, the lady said, okay, we're all done. Our contract is over. She said the grant, the people, the funding folks, if they want to fund you, they'll get in touch with you. And I said, okay, great. I said, but who's going to get in touch with me? I said, what are their names? And then she didn't say anything. And I said, can you send me, like, whatever you sent out on behalf of my nonprofit and whatever you sent it and who you sent it to, can you send that to me? Can I know who you spoke to? And she said, they'll reach out to you. And I said, so what you're telling me is, you said you've been working for this whole month and you have nothing to produce. Like, you can't produce me anything. And I said, oh, my goodness, that's what we're doing today? So really, I got, that's just what happened to me. The lady, her name, I really don't care. Her name is Zarina Hameen, Zarinah, Hameen. I've already sent, I've already put this in different Facebook groups to probably 400,000 people, and I still have a few more 100,000 that I'm going to send it out to. Because really, all she did was take from the veterans. And I think that that's nonsense. And on November 11th is Veterans Day. And so, luckily, I don't have it to just throw away, but it could have been somebody else who could have gave them their last to get their nonprofit up and running, and she just takes it from people. And I see her in different groups, and she's really going in, trying to get people to say, hey, work with me. So her name is Zarina Hameen, and I just had to put that out there. So what I'm doing is I've helped out with grants and stuff like that before. I don't like writing grants, so I would rather pay somebody to do it. That's just me. I'm up front with people, and I tell them, I read grants and stuff. We've gotten grant approvals through the nonprofit to help funding for housing and everything like that. I just don't want to write them. So I have other stuff that I have on my plate. So what I'm going to do, and this is what I have now. Let me help y'all out real quick. And this is for folks that's looking for grants. So what I find is more people who have nonprofits get more funding than for-profits. Because I know a lot of people want funding and stuff like that. But I find, this is just me, I find that there's more money out there for nonprofits than for-profits. And what I mean by that is, speaking to the Small Business Administration, you can speak to them, and then they can tell you that, good luck finding a grant. That's what the guy said in the meeting we went to. This was last year, though. And he said, good luck finding a grant for a for-profit. But it's not impossible. It's just a lot of research. But for the nonprofits out there, you can actually get a grant, but it's more grants. There's different types of grants. So I'm going to go through some different things I think of when I think about grants. But let me give y'all this. This was a learning experience, and I was trying to, help out somebody in a sense, because what the lady didn't know, Zarina Hameen, what she didn't know is I have about 10 different developments she could have been a part of, and I was going to actually give her equity in some of these developments because I wanted her on for the long haul, and we had spoke about that. And she didn't know that there's another grant that we're going to be able to get. It's on the technology side and the education side. That's going to be pretty substantial to where we're going after some billions with a B. Notably, it was $60 billion from the lawyer working on our accreditation. So I wanted her to be a part of that as well. But, God don't like ugly, and then, people lose out. So this is where I learned along this journey, even though I know about, pieces about grants and reading about, going over grants and stuff like that. The questions that I would ask now, time frame that somebody has when they're doing a grant, everybody has a time frame. And I would want you to know, when that time frame started. From her, even though she had all this documentation I had to present to her, financials and everything, the time frame started the day we started, even though I said, I can't get you the documentation, give me a few days. And the time started, even though she wasn't doing anything for me. So the documentation that I would ask for to be sent via email, be asked to be copied on every email before, during, and after. Ask about, is there any extra fees associated with the grant writing? Ask about the cost of the program. Ask, is that money that's going to be paid up front? Can you pay half right now, half when you finish? Do you do documentation on grants? Like, can they send you what they've, who they've worked with? And ask them, how do they correspond with clients? Because some of them don't work on the weekend. And for me, I don't really want a grant writer that don't work on the weekends. That's just me. Everybody's different. Ask what if they can't meet their deliverables. Asking to be paid in phases. So that's just certain, a few different questions that I would ask. So what's behind grants? And I could literally I think I'm doing a webinar on this as well, as I'm talking to y'all about it. So I'm doing a webinar on grants. And I'm going to break down some stuff. I'm going to show you where I find grants, and then I give them to people so they can do all the hard work. I do some of the easy work in grants, and I know where they are. I have the links and stuff like that so I can show, where they are. But there's different types of grants. You have federal, you have state, you have local government, you have private, you have corporations, you have foundations, you have family foundations, and then there's more. And then some of the questions that I ask people who want a grant, like how do you find the right grant? How do you know it's the right grant? How much money do you need? Do you already have a budget that's already written out? Are you even eligible for a grant? What projects has the funder funded as well? There's a lot of questions out there. When you're doing a grant, there's like a general application. You have to have your mission statement, hopefully. If you're a nonprofit, you should already have that. If you have the 501c3 that's certified by the IRS, the determination letter, then you already have your mission statement. You got to have like your job descriptions, the bios, everybody in your on your board. I would even say do business credit to set your business up so you can get funded without using your credit score. You're going to get your employment ID number, your who's funding you right now. You'll need your DUNS number, your list of board members, your organizational chart. Can you even write a proposal? Do you know what goes into a proposal? And you got to focus on the big picture, and then you start breaking it down to smaller pictures. Have you engaged with some of the decision makers? Because if you know a company or private organization has money, you can actually engage with them and have a conversation. These funders, they give out things called RFPs, just like the government does, request for proposals, and they say, hey, this is what we're looking for, and then you look to see if you meet that need. Now, every nonprofit hopefully should be solving a problem. You got to look at the timeline that you need, what responsibilities your nonprofit has, and you build relationships along this whole journey. So it shouldn't just be about you. It's definitely not about you. So in the proposals, you're going to give a summary. You're going to have a little intro. You're going to talk about the problem that's out there, and how do you hope to solve it. And now you got to look at the different steps you're going to take to get there, and how you know that you solved it, and how much funding will you need as time goes on. Because if you ask them for $50,000, like after that 50 is gone, what happens? So that's why I'm saying get your budget done up front. So when you get with these grant writers, you're going to have all that stuff in a nutshell, and then you can just forward it to them in a sense. So what are you preventing? Like the type of proposals are different, because I asked the question, like, what are you preventing, or are you improving something, or are you building something, or are you finding out how to address the problem? Are you working with like a faith-based organization? Because those are different, than a regular just nonprofit. So you're working with the church, you have religion involved. Is it value-based? So all those questions come to mind when I'm thinking about nonprofits. So a lot of people look at grant writing differently. So grant writing for me is not about just, hey, this is getting money. And that's what a lot of people think. It's just a request for money. And that's everybody on people's board. That's why everybody, hey, I want a grant. I'm about to start this barbershop. I want a grant. And I'm like, it's not as easy as what people, make it out to be. So a grant proposal is almost like a call to action. And so you looking for grant writers or grant seekers, and you're looking, most people are just dollar chasing. It's really not about supporting an organization. So you got to link arms with other organizations, community members, and they need to embrace your mission, like up front. You need to be taking pictures. You need to get with others. See, that's why I'm with another nonprofit, not just my own, because I can, in a sense, piggyback off of their nonprofit and say, this is what we're doing. And they've been in existence since 2004. So I can use that because I haven't been out that long, not since started in 2004, but I can use that to my advantage. So that's what I tell people. Get with a nonprofit, do some volunteer work, and then you can see what's going on out there. So the process of getting a grant or writing a proposal, it's like baking a cake. You got ingredients, and you have the ingredients, but if you're missing some stuff, which you probably are going to be because we're not, I'm not a grant writer. That's not what I do. Can I write one? Yes. Have I written one? Yes. Have I looked at them? Yes. But do I like doing it? No. That's not my specialty. I'm Mr. Real Estate, and I'm going to say that. So I'm just telling y'all, what I'm looking at. So in a grant, you look at who, what, when, where, and how. Who, what, when, where, and how. One, you got to answer those questions. You're going to need that plan for sustaining it. That budget is like everything. I'm sitting here about to reach out to a lady who's going to help me with assisted living, and she has some information that I really need. So that's what I'm reaching out to her for and be like, hey, I need your help, So there's a lot of different funders out there. I'm doing a live. I put it on Instagram and Facebook in different groups on grants, and I'm going to break out some of the different websites that you can use to look out for grants and stuff like that. Go a little bit more in depth on grants. I'm probably going to host a grant class, so y'all, how to write these doggone grants. I mean, some people like doing that stuff. That's just not what I like doing. So there's grants from the government. There's grants federal. There's a lot of stuff going on. You can actually be that person if you like writing. If I liked writing, I would actually be a grant writer because you can actually get in on grants that's like, what if you get a $1.5 million grant and you get 3% of that? So you can get percentages of grants and stuff like that. They can pay you like that. It's crazy what you can do with it. You helping people out and you just keep going. So there's a lot to it. So I just wanted to give everybody a quick snapshot on grants. I may be talking about nonprofits at some point as well, because to me, nonprofits and grants go hand in hand. And I'm working for it right now for a single-family home, and I'm working on it right now for some development homes as well, because from these grant writers that I'm talking to, there's a lot of money for veterans. Okay, well, I hear you. Seeing is believing, so, so show me the money. So I'm definitely going to do that, put that together. And as I get closer to those grants, I'm going to be sharing that information with people because, it's just information to me. If I got it, somebody else can get it too. So this is what I want to do. I want to thank Ms. Kimmy Robinson for having the platform that I've been doing for over 2 years. That's what she told me. But it's like a blur to me. It's like, it is what it is. But given the platform from Elation Magazine to Elation Radio and then beyond. And, COVID stopped a little something because we were supposed to be doing something this month in St. Louis. And no big deal because we're going to pick it back up for next year and do our Elation Awards and really impact the community where we have the city of St. Louis come out as well. And I really like that the city comes out and supports, and that's just huge. And I just truly believe it's going to be so big next year that, we got to get past what we have to get past here. As I say, it's all about now, it's the healing part that has to happen. And that's just where we are. So, Charles McCutchen here, your favorite entrepreneur. I'm going to pray us out. Dear Heavenly Father, I come to you and I ask for healing, a healing miracle that only you can do. And your Son Jesus said that everything is possible for one who believes. Help us to overcome anything. Help us to overcome our disbeliefs that we have. Make sure that we purify and we have the faith that you can only bring, dear Lord. Make sure that we know that we have the firm confidence that only you can heal us. And in your name I pray. Amen, amen, amen. Y'all take it easy. Y'all, I'm still going. I'm still running. I can't stop. I got so many people I sit on the shoulders of, and then so many people I'm going to have to lift up as we go along this journey. And the good thing is y'all been along this journey right along with me, because I got some stuff that I'm waiting on before I can present it to everybody, and I'm presenting it to the world. Hey, y'all take it easy. Charles McCutchen here, your favorite entrepreneur.
They acting like you can't talk about Christ and stay cool. Nah, that just ain't true. Nah, that just ain't cool. Youngin' tell me cause the weapon, so I grip the gospel. Shaku, guerra, I can bust a simple dance move. Smith and Wesson testing, I could grab that singing rock smooth. But for some reason I do not want to. They speaking falsehoods, but that is really not my bottle. Ooh, I spewed the dew and broke the bottle. Munchie TBT, apostle, rockin' aeropostale. Ain't nothing changed, now just switched and fits and wanted some pain. I dribble the game, but God on my side, I finesse to the paint. The name's Machi, some may call me Ja. Ja's got me, in case you thought you're coming off me. Where's the posse? 7513 from concrete, ain't talking soft drink. Someone said we move a moxie.
Hey, I'm a rich, I'm the son of G.O.D. Please go check the sleeve, gotta reflect the light, it's a chandelier. Never ever will I walk in fear. Take off. Never dealt with Jezebels, my problem's more like Samson. Maybe cause in Christ I've become a little handsome. Gratefulness is shown since my soul was so ransomed. There's no greater love than royalty leaving the throne. All because my thoughts were not the safest off the dome. It's not about caps and daps, it's the loyalty that is shown. Respect is all I've known and it makes me so great. See, look, the waves are gonna die down. Never brushing through the truth, you lose the bright crown. Through the teeth, the lies are flowing, let it lock up. The grind is money, no time to sleep, better pop up. Cause they acting like you can't talk about Christ and stay cool. Nah, that just ain't true. Nah, y'all just ain't cool.